Patitapaban Jagannath, the divine redeemer at the Lion Gate of Puri. At the eastern entrance of the sacred Jagannath Temple of Puri, known as the Singhadwara or the Lion Gate, stands a deeply significant yet often understated image of Prabhu Jagannath, called the Patitapaban, the Redeemer of the Fallen. While the towering spire of the temple and the grand wooden deities inside the sanctum attract global attention, this small yet spiritually profound image of Patitapaban at the threshold embodies one of the most compassionate theological statements in Hindu tradition. It represents divine grace, extended beyond ritual boundaries, beyond social divisions, and beyond institutional restrictions. The term Patitapaban comes from two Sanskrit words. Patita means fallen, downtrodden, or marginalized, and Paban means purifier or savior. Thus, Patitapaban means he who purifies and uplifts the fallen. In the Vaishnava theology, Lord Jagannath is already understood to be the Lord of the universe, Jagat Nath. Yet, in this particular manifestation, he assumes an even more intimate role, not merely as the cosmic ruler, but as a compassionate redeemer. Unlike the principal wooden structures of Lord Jagannath, Balabhadra and Subhadra inside the sanctum, this image of Patitapaban is a smaller representation, often described as the face of Jagannath affixed to the outer wall near the Lion Gate. The placement itself is a powerful symbolism. The deity is positioned exactly at the boundary between the sacred interior and the worldly exterior, as if to declare that the divine grace does not belong within the temple walls. It begins at the threshold of human longing. The Jagannath Temple, constructed in the 12th century during the reign of King Anantavarman of the Eastern Ganga dynasty, developed over centuries into one of Hinduism's most revered pilgrimage centers. However, like many ancient temples, it also maintained strict entry regulations. Non-Hindus and certain communities were traditionally barred from entering the inner precincts. While these customs evolved from historical ritual and socio-political circumstances, they inevitably created spiritual barriers for many devotees. It was within this context that the installation of Patitapaban acquired profound meaning. Tradition holds that in the 18th century, King Ramachandra Deva II, the Gajapati ruler of Puri, married a Muslim woman due to some political circumstances. Because of this alliance, orthodox standards deemed him ritually ineligible to enter the temple premises. The king, however, remained deeply devoted to Lord Jagannath. To ensure he could still receive darshan, the priests arranged for an image of the Lord to be placed at the Singhadwara, visible from outside. This compassionate arrangement evolved into the formal recognition of Patitapaban as the Lord accessible to all. Whether viewed as strict historical fact or a devotional legend, the narrative captures a very powerful truth. The divine cannot be confined by human classifications. In Hindu thought, God assumes forms suited to the needs of the devotees. Prabhu Jagannath himself is considered to be a form of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, embodying universal love and cosmic sovereignty. The Patitapaban form emphasizes an even more radical theological idea. The divine mercy flows most abundantly towards those who feel excluded. Bhakti traditions, especially those flourishing in Odisha and Bengal under the saints like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, stressed that devotion transcends caste, ritual qualification, or social identity. In this context, Patitapaban becomes a living embodiment of the Bhakti ideal. The deity stands as a silent assurance that spiritual worth is not measured by lineage or status but by the sincerity of your heart. Philosophically, the Singhadwara location reinforces this vision. A threshold, which is neither fully inside nor outside, it is a liminal space. In spiritual symbolism, thresholds represent transformation. By situating Patitapaban there, the temple expresses that anyone standing at the edge of faith, even those denied by the formal entry, is still embraced by Prabhu Jagannath. The Singhadwara, the main entrance facing east, is guarded by large, majestic lion statues and opens towards the Grand Road, where the annual Ratha Yatra unfolds. Millions gather along this road during the chariot festival, when the deities emerge from the temple and ride massive chariots through the city. In a sense, Ratha Yatra itself is an extension of the Patitapaban principle. The Lord comes out to meet the people rather than remaining confined within the sacred walls. Patitapaban is worshipped daily, like the main deity. Devotees who cannot enter the temple offer flowers, prayers, and folded hands before this image. Many believe that the darshan of Patitapaban carries the same spiritual merit as seeing the principal deity inside the temple. For foreign visitors and non-Hindu admirers of the Jagannath culture, this image often becomes their only accessible point of worship, and therefore profoundly meaningful. In contemporary times, when discussions about equality, identity, and religious access remains globally relevant, Patitapaban stands as a symbolic bridge between tradition and compassion. The idol does not abolish historical temple customs, yet it offers a theological counterpoint, an acknowledgement that divine love cannot be monopolized. For pilgrims who may feel spiritually fallen due to their personal struggles, moral failings, or societal stigma, Patitapaban offers them a psychological reassurance. The very name proclaims redemption. The message is not one of judgment, but of hope. Moreover, in a country as diverse as India, where faith intersects with culture, caste, language, and history, this small idol quietly proclaims a universal principle: no one is beyond grace. The Jagannath devotion has long been inclusive in spirit. The kitchen of the temple feeds thousands daily without discrimination. The Yath Yatra invites participation from all sections of the society. Saints and poets have described Jagannath as the Lord of humanity rather than a sectarian deity. Within this larger ethos, Patitapaban represents the distilled essence of the Jagannath culture. The idol's quiet presence at the Lion Gate reminds pilgrims that humility is the true entrance to the divine. Even those who walk past without entering the temple receive his gaze. The theology here is subtle yet profound. Sometimes standing outside with sincere longing can be spiritually as powerful as standing inside the temple premises. The Patitapaban Jagannath is more than a minor architectural feature of the Singhadwara of the Jagannath Temple in Puri. He is a theological statement carved in stone and devotion, a proclamation that divine grace is not restricted by human barriers. Rooted in history, enriched by mythology, and alive with social meaning, this compassionate form of Prabhu Jagannath continues to inspire millions. In the end, Patitapaban teaches us a timeless lesson. The divine stands at the threshold, waiting not for the perfect credentials, but for an open heart. Thank you for listening to our article. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more such informative videos.